Well, I'll tell you one thing. If you're a fan of the Eights and Eights, you had to really love this episode of Impact Wrestling for April 18th, 2013. First thing you see before the match even starts is you got Devon in the back telling that Gary Bischoff and Wes Briscoe that they got to take care of business tonight against Kurt Angle, and that's kind of leads into our first match, which is a handicap match. And I mean, I get that Angle's main job is to try to get Bischoff and Briscoe over, but really, having Garrett Bischoff get the pin on a Kurt Angle, it's kind of like, it would be kind of like Zack Ryder getting a pinfall victory over Ryback. I'm just saying. But yeah, it's a nice way to make Kurt Angle look weak. Like, very, very, very good, TNA. Then, I mean, there was interference in this match. D'Lo ends up giving Garrett Bischoff the chain, which knocked out Angle. So they got the pin, and then afterwards you get a little promo from Mr. Anderson saying this is how it's going to be around here. We're just going to do whatever the hell we want, basically. So that's about how this first part of the show started. I think that was nice before the X Division title match is that you get interviews by all three combatants, Kenny King, Z-Man, and Petey Williams, and I thought it was a really good thing to have that. And then all three of them got entrances before the match. That's very rare itself as well. Excuse me. And one thing that they debuted in this match is the X-Cam, something that referee Brian Hebner was wearing on his head, and I'm not sure if it's a real necessary thing to have, but hey, it just kind of brings a new innovative dimension to an X Division match. So, but as far as the match went, the match went about 6-7 minutes. Kenny King retains, and Petey Williams did not do the job. So, hey, I'm all right with it. Hopefully, at some point, they do put the belt on Petey. That would be very, very nice as well. Okay, then next was a TV title match, or at least what was scheduled to be a TV title match between Devon and Magnus. Pretty nice to see Magnus getting a title shot of some sort, but this one turned out not to be a match. Magnus ends up getting attacked on top of the ramp by Nux and Doc. He's holding his own there for a little bit, and then finally Devon came up, nailed him in the gut with a chain, and he ends up getting double choke slammed on the ramp. And Samoa Joe comes out to make the save, which set up another match later on in the night, which lasted about 4 or 5 minutes at the most. Joe ends up getting beat by brass knuckles by Mr. Anderson. And what I've been talking about has been a recurring theme throughout the show. There's Eights and Eights interference. So after the match, Anderson gets held up, and Joe takes a shot right in the face with Nux, and it looks like he's selling it like he broke his nose or broke his orbital bone or something. But well, I tell you what, the Eights and Eights were sure running well tonight, brother. Well, then your 1 hour main event segment was a knockout match for #1 contendership for the knockout title between Tessmacher and Mickie James. ODB again was your knockout referee. Well, she did a better job than what Joey Ryan was doing, so hey. But the match itself wasn't the greatest in the world, but Mickie James ends up going over. So there's your new #1 contender. And I thought it was interesting after the match they talked to her backstage, and she's talking about being disgruntled and that, and how she hasn't been in the title picture for about 1.5 years, so kind of maybe like a heel turn is in store for Mickie James. Hey, I'd be okay with it. It'd be something new and different, so I'm not going to complain about that. he had a Joseph Park segment where he gets attacked by Bully Ray and not Joseph Park, but shit. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, Joseph Park in the back, and he's getting attacked by Bully Ray and Devon. Devon's choking him out with a chain, telling him to stay out of the Ace and Eight's business. Park's still trying to get the marriage between Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan annulled. And that's basically about it for that segment. And then they had another segment with Matt Morgan in the back, and he's talking about Hogan mistakes. And where are they going to go with this? Is he going to have a confrontation with Hogan, or is he going to go after somebody, or what is he going to do? All right, then you got Bad Influence coming down to the ring for a promo, and Kaz and Daniels they talk about getting AJ back in their group, and they get a brand new T-shirt, which I would like to get that. That T-shirt looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Then they're talking about Chavo and Hernandez. They want to be the #1 contenders to the World Tag Team Championships of the world. But then they get interrupted by the Great Factor, Bobby Roode and A-Double, and this was comedy. This little banner between both teams, this was just comedy at its finest. Evidently, a Canadian's opinion is only 3/4 of that of an American's opinion. Oh, I love that. I thought this was great. It breaks down to an argument. Then to really put a damper on this segment, you get Team Stereotype out there, and they get rid of Rude and Aries, and evidently Rude and Aries are going to get their rematch next week on Impact Wrestling. So, really, what I would like to see is I'd like to see a feud between Bad Influence and the Great Factor. That would be awesome. And I'm glad this was the main event segment. Cowboy James Storm against the return to in-ring action of the phenomenal AJ Styles. At first, AJ was acting like he wasn't going to wrestle him, and so Storm had to go out there and beat on him a little bit. And I thought it was going to be interesting to see how AJ was going to wrestle in this new character and all, but he really was wrestling different, and something that he was more methodical, if you will, and you kind of had to think AJ had to go over in this match, which he did, but he didn't win with the Styles Clash. He won by some leg lock. I don't know what you call it, but it must have been effective because Storm actually tapped out, and Bad Influence appeared on the ramp during the match, and they come in the ring to congratulate him. AJ was acting like he was going to be part of that group, but he ends up attacking both Kaz and Daniels, and then then afterwards, Storm ends up leaving when Ace and H show up, and Ace and H they piss pound Storm, and they piss pounded Bad Influence. So evidently they're equal opportunity destroyers tonight. But then Bully Ray ends up cutting a promo and says he's gonna call out the person that's responsible for all this, and that's Hulk Hogan himself, brother. And evidently next week is open fight night, so I guess that'll go along with the theme of the show. So that's how the show ended this week. Alright, final thoughts on this show. And as far as the Angle versus Bischoff and Briscoe match, why have Garrett Bischoff get the pin on that match? If you're going to make Angle job at all, why not have Briscoe pin him? And as far as the knockout match for next week, as far as Velvet Sky against Mickie James, if they're teasing a heel turn with Mickie James, hey, I'm alright with it. I think it'd be something different anyway. And as far as let's see, the tag team match next week, I'm sure that'll be good. Hopefully, I would like to see Rude and Aries go over and get the titles back, but that might be a little too much to ask. And as far as the X Division title goes, I'd like to see Petey Williams get the title at some point. Hopefully, give him a little bit of a run with it. That'd be nice. Then, as far as the AJ Styles character going forward, I kind of hope that they just have him be this lone wolf for a while. I mean, not be with anybody. But they did a good job of teasing me that he could possibly be with the Ace and Eights, because when they came down and attacked Storm, they didn't. I mean, he didn't help anybody, so they're still kind of planting that seed of doubt in your mind of, God, could AJ really be part of the Ace and Eights? So anyway, let me know what you thought down below. Subscribe up above if you haven't, and like my video. This is Marvelous Mark signing off for now, and I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.